Alright, hello and welcome you guys. Today I'm going to be doing a wig cap tutorial that can be applied to many dolls, not just smart dolls. And these are the materials you'll need: some elastic, something to cut your materials, thread, curved needle would be a lot more helpful, and any stretchy material. I recommend like a lace or this shirt that I bought on Amazon that I can cut up and use, which is what I'm doing. I'll be linking a lot of these things below for you guys, so don't worry. And from here, you just go ahead and get some of the elastic and measure it along the head of the doll. Make sure it's a little snug and sew all around. Go, just a few stitches. A blanket stitch would be fine. It would really keep things together, and do both sides, please, and to make sure it stays. Drape the fabric over the head, put the elastic on, and make sure you leave some seam allowance. I say like 3/4 of an inch would be fine. You're gonna have to fold it over before you make a stitch, so just make sure you give yourself enough room for that. Clip, clip, clip. That's okay if it pops out. Just make sure you align it before you start sewing. Before you start sewing. So at this point, you can either move all the gathers to one side of the head and work with small folds and just like slowly work your way around, or you can do what I did. So I just fold it over, stitch parallel to the fold but on top of the fold, so it gets both layers of fabrics. And when you make your stitch, make sure it goes through the bottom layer as well. Don't do it too fast or too hard, that way you don't scratch your doll. So just be on the safe side of that and just be a little careful. Before anyone drags me in the comments for my nails, I will say that I was gardening, so excuse my nails. I thought I cleaned them right, but I was having a long morning, so I jumped straight into the video. I was actually pretty excited to get some content out for you guys, so yeah, let's just focus on the wig cap from now on. So a little tip you can do is use pins to hold the little fold ahead, like a few stitches ahead. That way you're not struggling like I am right here. I remember about that a little bit later, so you see me struggling. Since it's a circular casing, you won't be stitching onto the elastic, so make sure you don't catch any of the elastic when you're making your stitches. Since it's encased, you'll be able to like really move around the gathers, so don't stress too much if you have some areas that are more bulky than others. Since I'm doing like fringed bangs, it'll kind of like give it like a nice little puff to like it'll give it some volume, so I don't really mind too much, and it won't show. So another tip would be for the thread. I'm using this clear thread since I will be using black wefts of like black hair and sewing that all around. So I will be using this clear, it's kind of like fishing line, but it's not, it's for sewing. I lost the paper, like the little labels, or else I'd show you guys, but that's that. I think it's meant for embroidery and embellishments, but it works perfectly fine. I haven't tested it for heat, like boiling water, so I have to be careful with that. But yeah, that's just to make sure I don't use black thread that may stain the doll. I already tested the wefts and you like used a little clip and clipped on like a little vinyl chip, and it's fine. So I will be going on with proceeding with those to make a black wig, which will be my next video, so keep an eye out. Okay, and from now, all you do is stitch parallel to the fold. I'm doing a back stitch for those of you who are wondering. You basically make one stitch, you move forward, and then your next stitch will start. The entry point of the next stitch will be the midpoint of your last stitch, and you just continue that. So make sure you make little, like, longer stitches if you're going to be using that. If you're wondering, this side will be the side that I sew the wefts on. That way the inside of the wig will look nice and clean. And you don't have to do the folded over seam allowance, but I recommend it if you want it to be more secured. Like, tugging and pulling can like wear out raw edges over time, so I just recommend you do this. It would be a lot easier if you just don't fold and leave a raw edge, but there's a give and take for everything. And there you have it. It's all set. From here on out, you could just use like a heat erasable marker to kind of just mark where you want your wefts, or if you know what you're going to do, you're all set to get started. I did this under an hour, so I think with some practice you guys can definitely get there as well. So good luck, and thank you for watching. Peace.